Hi everyone, Andy Pickering here. Welcome to the Crypto Conversation. It's time for the weekly market sentiment report. Are you ready? Lots happening today. Let's get on with the show. So if we start over here at bravenewcoin.com, we can see the Bitcoin price according to the Bitcoin Liquid Index, Brave New Coins BLX, bam, and we're down to 64,770. Ethereum on the ELX is down to 4,600. So yeah, that's a bit interesting. What's going on? Well, I mean, there's two big narratives, right, that have really impacted the price in both directions today. So about probably 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours ago now, maybe, the US inflation report came out, and I think the October jump was 6.2%. So that is quite an increase, I believe. That is one of the biggest increases in 30 years on kind of month-on-month inflation. So you can see that on the CPI. It is just going up and to the right. Yeah, so the Associated Press say here, prices for US consumers jumped 6.2% in October compared with a year earlier, as surging costs for food, gas, and housing left Americans grappling with the highest inflation rate since 1990. So that's, 6.2% in October, not month on month, but from October last year. So annually, but that is a steep increase. Now, you can see this on the chart. So here is about where, this is when the inflation figures came out, and Bitcoin, of course, went boom, massive green candle, went from, 66,300 up to here, 67, 68, actually wicked right up to 69. And really just, 69,420 is, not far away either. But so just a wick up to 69, effectively a new all-time high, and then just began to consolidate here, looking to go up, and really break through with authority. That didn't happen, and the reason for so why did we crash? We really crashed here. So this is about 3-4 hours ago, and now we're just potentially recovering, but back to 64, 65K. Well, the reason for that steep fall is, of course, China. Again, Evergrande. So this announcement came out, around 5 hours ago. Evergrande officially defaults bankruptcy proceedings proceeding against Evergrande. Yes, so these are the headlines. Evergrande, the second largest real estate developer in China, has officially defaulted on its bonds. It was unable to make the required interest payments in time. Now, because of those headlines, all markets crashed. It wasn't just Bitcoin, not just crypto. Everything is down, any markets that are open. Of course, since then, there have been reports, the main one in Bloomberg, that Evergrande has actually been able to make 2 of those overdue interest payments and may even avoid a default. So this is obviously a fast-moving situation, but of course, the main takeaway is Evergrande, it does look a bit dicey, and if China can't kind of keep control of the slow-moving train wreck, there's no doubt it will bleed into all global markets and just be a massive risk factor. So that's the worry. Inflation, of course, it's nuanced as well. I suppose inflation fears are not good for legacy markets, but for the Bitcoin thesis, the more that we get these scary looking inflation figures, the more bullish it is for Bitcoin, really. So, I mean, we put this into perspective. What's driving inflation? Well, the money printing. 40% of US dollars in existence were printed in the last 12 months. That is quite staggering. It's David Marcus at Facebook, leading Novi, says, with inflation at 6.2%, it means that even if we keep it steady for 10 years, your 100 grand will become 54,800 over those 10 years. Compounding is a powerful force, even in reverse. Somewhere, Satoshi is enjoying the show, having some popcorn right about now. And the reason for that, of course, is Satoshi, back in 2009, and one of, I think this was an email to the cryptography mailing list that he wrote this. Yeah, so he said that, again, this is speaking back in 2009. Satoshi says, the root problem with conventional currency is all the trust that's required to make it work. The central bank must be trusted not to debase the currency, but the history of fiat currencies is full of breaches of that trust. So, yeah, and how right was Satoshi? Yeah. So effectively, it means that people are having to work day and night for a currency that has had a supply increase of 40% in the last year, and that their hard-earned savings are just going to be debased, frittered away through no fault of their own, simply because of the central banks. And Satoshi saw this coming. And really, that is one of the driving forces behind Bitcoin. And as a result of this inflation, the Bitcoin narrative is getting stronger. And that's why Bitcoin is now touching 69,000 US today, looking strong. Yeah. So due to inflation, your money is now losing 1% of its value every 30 days. Edward Snowden says that as inflation hits 6.2%, wiping out the raises of those lucky enough to even have a good job, parents have to worry about the price of milk for their kids. And meanwhile, the mainstream media, the establishment, in this case, the New York Times, they say that Americans are by many measures in a better financial position than they have been in many years, but they also believe the economy is in terrible shape. So there's this, that's cognitive dissonance, I think is what that is. Meanwhile, Corey Swan, notable Bitcoiner, says that a fund manager in one of his Telegram chats this morning, I don't know if this is accurate or true or whether it's going to play out, but I thought it was interesting. He says, it's the biggest inflation surge in over 30 years, yet gold is well below its all-time high. I think there's a real threat to the market coming from a potential unwind of the 2-decade-long gold rally. Gold doesn't provide yield. It trades well above its utility value and is not easily transferable or usable. My biggest fear is we see an unruly exit from gold that sparks a larger risk-off event. I don't know if that's true, not saying that's going to happen, but you can imagine that, how long are people going to watch gold do absolutely nothing in the exact environment when it's supposed to perform well as a hedge against inflation? It's not. Bitcoin is. Another good point is that high net worth individuals such as Apple CEO Tim Cook can move quickly to protect their wealth via BTC. And I'm not sure if you saw the news, but Tim Cook said yesterday, he revealed that he does own Bitcoin and Ethereum and thinks it's a smart thing to do as part of a diversified portfolio. Doesn't mean Apple are going to buy crypto anytime soon. That's not going to happen. But just interesting that, of course, someone like Tim Cook, he's a technologist, so of course he's going to have crypto. But the point here is people like Tim, high net worths, they're nimble, they can move quickly to move heavily into Bitcoin if they want to, if they see that inflation is going to increase. Who can't do that? Well, institutions, family offices. So if inflation turns into a crisis and panic mode, then there'll be enormous pressure on those institutions to take action in the months and years ahead. So also good to keep an eye on, I suppose the top assets globally by whether it's an asset class, a company, or whatever, by market cap. So gold has always been number one. Gold market cap 11.7 trillion. Then, Microsoft number two, way back down at 2.4. Then Apple, Saudi Aramco, Alphabet, Amazon, silver. This is where it starts to get interesting. Silver's market cap 1.3. Bitcoin really, really close and coming on strong, 1.2, just behind silver. So, when and if Bitcoin flips silver, watch out for the headlines and the narrative around that. But it just goes to show, Bitcoin, if Bitcoin is ever going to flip gold, that's, 10x away. So it doesn't even mean it has to flip gold. But the point is, I think more and more people are seeing that there's still a lot of upside in Bitcoin. Gold, not sure. And in the meantime, Bitcoin just keeps doing what Bitcoin does. And this year alone, the Bitcoin network has transferred 10.7 trillion worth of value, all without any elected leaders or CEO, just pure economic incentives run by a decentralized, distributed, and global system. No one on earth could do anything to stop it. The most powerful idea of our time, Bitcoin. So we saw earlier, Bitcoin wicked up to 69K. So we're very close to the magical meme number, 69,420. So that's going to happen probably sooner than you think. Bobby Lee, shout out to Bobby Lee. Bobby Lee's looking out for that as well. You'd have to think that Elon Musk will acknowledge that when it happens. He's an edge lord. He's a meme lord. Okay, as we start to finish off, what else is happening? Do you see the Ethereum naming service, ENS? They did an airdrop yesterday to their effectively decentralizing their leadership and their governance, and they airdropped their governance tokens to all the early adopters of the ENS. And so I think I'm having Nick, who is the lead developer at ENS. He's going to be on the Crypto Conversation podcast with me tomorrow. So it'd be fascinating to dig into all of that with Nick. But it just really speaks to the Web3 narrative that is really becoming stronger and stronger as well. So Ariana Simpson is talking about this here when she says the magic of an airdrop in which you are rewarded financially for making use of the products and services you already love cannot be overstated. And that's the model of Web3, if you like. So any internet products that don't make their users owners really won't be able to compete as Web3 slowly emerges into the picture. So lots to think about there. And kind of on the same note, I think this is New York City coin mining has been activated. I have to look more into this. So, we've got the Miami coin. Now we're going to have New York City coin. The mayors of those cities are taking payment in Bitcoin. It just goes to show, adoption is happening right in front of us. We live in interesting times. The timeline is crazy. I'll talk a bit about Punk6529, one of the smarter thinkers on NFTs and the metaverse. He wrote a good Twitter thread this week on America and crypto, making the case that the US is the natural home for crypto, and the US should effectively, bet on open, permissionless, decentralized crypto for the good of the US and its citizens. So I won't go through the whole thread, but I think it's a good thread, and he might be right. As I say, not going through it, but it's a good thread. And Joe Westenal says that I feel like the slow rebranding of crypto to Web3 is allowing people who had been anti-crypto to capitulate in an honorable way. I think that's quite a smart observation. But at the same time, we're seeing there's another big culture war emerging at the moment between people who can see the opportunity in Web3 and NFTs and people who they can't. They think NFTs are about burning the planet, and they think Web3 is just a giant Ponzi scheme. So, yeah, I mean, it's up to people working in crypto, using crypto, adopting crypto to fight against that narrative. But yeah, it's sad. A lot of the people that will benefit the most from Web3 and NFTs, I'm thinking of independent artists, musicians, creatives, people like that. They're also some of the most vehemently against it. Anyway, let's finish this off with a meme. Yeah, this meme's kind of already out of date. I was going to use this before the Evergrande news hit, because I was thinking originally when I was going to record this a few hours ago, I thought we were going to break 69,420. I was even going to call this podcast 69,420 because you have to. It's the power of the memes. But Evergrande, that news came in and ruined the party for today, at least. So we'll really just have to see. That's the narrative for the next few days: is can the market absorb that bad news pressure from the Evergrande headlines and just turn around and recover again? I think it will, but we'll just have to wait and see. All right, well, that is me for today. Thank you very much for watching the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the Crypto Conversation in whatever podcast app you are using. But yeah, bye for now. See ya.